shitty wizard appears while you're going about your day. He asks you some questions and won't let you run away. Would you rather have a finger growing out of your cheek or have no skin on the bottom of your feet? Would you rather have laser vision or turn invisible? Now make a decision. Shitty wizard flying through the air. Shitty wizard magic everywhere. Shitty wizard you just can't compare. Shitty wizard learning to care. To another classic Streamy Dreams with the Shitty Wizards.
Ooh, classic. I like
Classic. I'm your shitty host, Caitlin, and I'm joined as always by the shitty Laurel.
Oh.
And the extra shitty Adam.
2 scoops of shitty.
2 scoops of shitty for Adam.
I'm going to start referring to you as Angry Adam. It's
Why?
a new persona.
Why?
Because you seem disgruntled. Actually, today you seem pretty happy.
Yeah, you're wearing a t-shirt.
You're wearing colors,
looking very
which is-
casual.
Freaking me out.
I bought clothes. I like how you're pointing out the fact that Adam bought clothes. Normally, I'm just wearing a sack.
Kinda.
Hey.
No, but normally you're in very dark tones, and now you're all like, ooh, spring Adam.
So it's funny because you pointed out...
Sun's out, guns out.
I like how you go, oh, you seem cheery today. I'm exhausted. And I just have a general resting bitch face. It's just a general issue that I've had with my whole life.
Normally you do, but today you don't. Today you...
I feel like
It's not
my
there.
I feel like my resting bitch face is extra bad today because I'm tired. And then you're just like, but he's wearing colors, so he must be happy.
No, I was actually
I
more
do like-
talking about your face. I think when you're extra tired, maybe it relaxes your face enough that you don't look.
It relaxes the bitch muscles.
Yeah,
My brow is furrowed less because I can't spare the energy.
exactly.
Well, also thank you. I like my new T-shirt.
Yeah, it's cool. I didn't notice it's got little anchors.
Little anchors on it.
Aw,
Very cute.
so cute. This is a weird way to start the episode.
I mean, you guys rolled with it. I was waiting to be like, hey, it's your boy. And then you just 2 scoops of shit. And he looks happy today for once.
2 scoops of shit. You're angry all the time, but not today. Today is Adam's day. Tell us a thing that makes you feel happy inside, Adam.
No, because you'll make fun of me because I've mentioned it before and you told me to go outside.
Oh, no, you weren't talking about stuff that makes you happy. You were just you were complaining, and I was like, there's a solution.
No, I
to
said
that.
I was really excited for Mortal Kombat 11 and you said, Adam, go outside.
I want the fans to find that clip.
I might not have been on mic, but you definitely said that to my face.
It's okay. I've joined you now because Sekiro's out, so I'm gonna be a hermit as well.
So you're just
in this
gonna-
beautiful springtime weather. Fuck the sun. I'm gonna go be a ninja. Or sorry, a shinobi.
Same thing.
Well, not exactly. One is distinctly more upper class, in a way.
Tell us what you think in the comments.
Would you rather be a shinobi or a ninja? What's the difference? Who knows?
Well, ninjas are independent. Like, they're mobs. They're
mobs!
Well, they're usually like an uprising of the lower class, being like, we don't want to.
And they use the ninja techniques because they can't afford the expensive samurai gear.
Exactly. Whereas a shinobi's more like a bodyguard. They're like a hired protector.
Hired goon.
That's the extent of my knowledge. If I'm wrong, please feel free to destroy me on the internet.
Do all shinobis have grappling hook arms?
I wish I had an arm like that. As far as I can tell, it's way better than a normal arm.
Yeah, it seems
Like-
that way. It can shoot shuriken.
Yeah.
You can grapple onto ledges. Can you imagine how much that must fucking hurt?
Well,
Because you grab onto it, and then the arm, using an internal pulley system, rockets you towards the thingy that you grabbed, but it's like attached to a fucking stump.
I wonder how much of that is like absorbed by just like your shoulder and.
The reality is it doesn't work at all. That's why it's fake.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, you shoot your grappling hook, and then you click
And then
the
it rips off
mechanism
your
on,
arm.
and then it just tears off your arm.
Yeah.
And you're like, well, fuck, now I need to get one attached to my shoulder.
I mean, listen, this is the beautiful...
True.
it's the beautiful thing about fiction. We can explore things that aren't real.
Yeah.
Like how Mortal Kombat 11, the one thing I'm excited about these days, you can do a fatality where you shoot a guy from the stomach up to the head, and this is from a character named Cassie Cage. She shoots you from the stomach up to the head and then runs at you and kicks you in the nuts so hard your skull and spine fly out of you.
Yeah.
I can get behind that kind of bullshit.
Yeah, I gotta say, like, grappling hook aside, not the least realistic thing about that game. There's a lot more going on that you're like, wait a minute.
Hold on a second.
That's not how any of this works.
You mean to tell me Bloodborne's not a documentary?
Oh, that one is, for sure. But you can blame that one on aliens! Alright, let's get this ball rolling. What do you say?
So,
Welcome to our new video game podcast.
okay, let's do a quick recap for people who weren't here last week. So, we started an ongoing Would You Rather saga that we've titled Get Phucked Phil.
Yeah.
And what was the premise that you either had to dig up your grandma's corpse to retrieve a pair of dentures?
Yeah.
Or you had to do a stand-up comedy routine for your friend Phil.
In his place. And impersonating him.
Right, impersonating
Because you
him.
look like him.
If you want the full details, I highly recommend going back and listening to the previous episode because it got a bit convoluted. There was a lot of stuff to do with dentures and Phil suing you.
There's a lot
Apparently
of
he's a
technical
lawyer.
issues that we decided to go into depth on.
So we took it to the Discord, and they actually voted by one vote to dig up Grandma.
Let's dig up Grandma! I
So
actually
we're
knew that
digging
episode
up
too.
Grandma.
Which is good, because I kind of like this one better.
Oh, man, but I hate Phil, and I don't want to help him.
Look, Phil's role in this story is not over. I'll say that one small spoiler. But for now, we're going on a little detour.
Okay.
Also, can I point out, what does that say about our Discord server where people are like, dig up the dead lady? Good
Listen,
job, Discord.
It only won by one, but it was very close race.
Yeah.
I noticed it was tied earlier, and then I saw that you had voted for one, so I'm like, I'm gonna nix yours by voting the other way.
Oh no, you fool!
I also think it's funny, like, me sitting here going, what does that say about the Discord? I'm on this show. I'm
Yeah.
directly responsible for all of this, so who am I to judge?
It's not the first time we've dug up Grandma. Come on.
It's true.
Alright, shall we then?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So, you've decided that your stage fright is greater than your fear of corpses, and you gather your equipment, and you make a plan to head out, let's say around the witching hour, 3 a.m., to Grandma's graveyard. It's actually called Grandma's graveyard, and it just so happens that only grandmas are buried there.
Right.
It's
yeah.
grandma's only.
Grandma in the graveyard.
Okay, so you're heading out, and as you trek through the misty graveyard, you catch little glimpses of apparitions in the corner of your eye, but every time you turn, they're gone. You make it to the gravesite. You plunker down your duffel bag of utilities, which is basically a shovel and maybe some...
Like a crowbar.
Yeah, some shit. It makes that clanky sound. Clink, 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 clink. And you're like, shit.
I love the Foley. I'm digging it.
I'm so immersed.
But you keep... But there's something like kind of, you know, the back of your head is tingling. You're just like, some shit's going down. You plant that first stake into the ground with your shovel.
Clang.
No, it's more like... And that's when the graveyard groundskeeper catches you, grabs a hand on your shoulder and says, "What the fuck are you doing here?" He doesn't say what the fuck, he says like, "What are you doing here?" And then you spin around and you go like, "Oh, wait, shit, nothing. Grandma, I love her so much." And then he's like, "Oh, wait." Sorry, so he starts like apprehending you and you're trying to like make excuses. And just then, a hand shoots up out of the ground and Grandma comes crawling out of the grave.
Grandma, help!
She grabs the groundskeeper and she's like trying to rip into him. She's going for it. But he's surprisingly strong for what looks like a feeble old man. And he's got some moves and he's kind of handling her. But
He's got a very active job.
Yeah. But this is this is like a real fight. This is some Mortal Kombat shit going on.
All right,
Just
okay,
like, holy
okay, all
crap,
right,
they're
all right.
backflipping.
I'm in.
One keeps doing that thing where they just shittily try to trip the other person. They just stay low and keep kicking. That's Grandma.
Grandma's just doing like
Yeah.
what are they called?
A roundhouse
A roundhouse
like,
kick
yeah.
over and over and over
So
again.
this is some MK2 shit where you just spam the same fucking move over and over.
Yeah, and they're both doing it.
Yeah, and the groundskeeper is just jumping.
Yeah, and neither one of them are making contact, but they're like in it.
Right.
I'm so in now.
Okay, so the keeper, I'm gonna call him the groundskeeper. I don't know if that's a technical, I don't know what you call them. Anyway, so
Gravekeeper?
is it just gravekeeper?
I don't know.
We'll call him gravekeeper. So he lets out a,
No.
what did you do?
It's the crypt keeper.
Oh.
Crypt
obviously.
keeper. I thought that was only for crypts.
Well, graveyard, crypt.
I mean, it sounds really dramatic.
Yeah.
We can call him the crypt. I don't want to call him the crypt keeper because that's like an
'Cause we get
iconic
sued.
character.
Just call it a crypt keeper.
I'm just gonna call him the keeper.
Okay.
Trying to remember what they call the guy in Ocarina of Time. Is he...
That's what inspired this character. It's him. It's the guy from Zelda.
I literally think it's the groundskeeper. 'Cause
Yeah.
it's his job.
Or the graveyard keeper. I
Yeah,
think.
like, yeah.
Anyway, we'll call him the keeper.
Okay.
So he shits out, what did you do? And you just start making excuses like, oh no, I just wanted her dentures. I just needed to get her dentures back for my fucking friend Phil. And that piques his interest. He looks over at you wide-eyed. Both him and Grandma stop moving for what feels like a minute, but is probably only a second. And he goes like, shit. That's when he starts so he's continuing the fight now, but mid-fight, he's trying to explain to you that he knows about these dentures and that they're enchanted.
I was about to say, they must be magic.
Yeah.
These are the reason why she's back from the dead.
Yeah,
Is
for
she
sure.
wearing the dentures?
Yeah.
You can see them in her mouth.
Yeah, you can see them. She's very much like, grimacing.
So is she...
She's trying to bite him.
Is she rotting?
She hasn't been dead that long.
Yeah, she's like newly dead.
But still, I mean, she's fucking like ghostly pale and gaunt and...
Yeah, she's pretty scary
Still.
looking.
But
Because it
does-
only takes a couple days for you to get
Yeah.
Was she
gross.
embalmed? Maybe she looks
She was
great.
embalmed.
Oh.
She looks great.
She isn't looking her best.
Right.
But this isn't your like just classic zombie falling apart. This is like she's possessed
Right.
more
right,
than she's
right,
just like the living dead.
Right.
So he starts to explain, he's trying his best to like get out bits of information, but he manages to get across that the dentures are enchanted, that he knows about the dentures, and that he knows about Phil.
Fucking
He just
Phil.
says he knows about Phil's family, and his relation to your family. And he implies that there's something special about the reason Grandma was buried here. Along with all the other
graveyard.
in the graveyard. There's a reason
Man.
she's not buried with old Grandpa and the rest of your
This
family.
Right.
This is an epic saga that has really gone to hell just simply based off of getting drunk and accidentally stealing some fucking dentures.
What'd you learn, kids?
I-
Don't get drunk. Or maybe do, and
Well-
you'll discover secrets.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we learned either don't drink or drink so much that you just pass out, not so much that you get steely.
Yeah. Don't fuck around with somebody else's dentures.
You don't need to get drunk to get steely. I'm just saying. Okay, so as the fight continues and he's trying to get this information across to you, all of a sudden this voice is starting to take over your mind. You can hear the words to an incantation, and before you even realize you're doing it, you're saying these words out loud.
What are the words?
Nosferatu.
Hominum denturus.
Numa, 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 numa.
It's the words from Evil Dead that he says.
Right.
And you're coming up to what you know is that like you can know it in your mind that the final word is coming up, and the groundskeeper is screaming at you, and it's kind of like through a fog, like it's hard to hear him, but you can hear him saying like don't do it. But then there's like this other voice being like, finish the incantation, and Grandma will be your eternal servant.
Okay.
So now the would you rather.
Here we go.
Finish the incantation and enslave Grandma to your services. Super possessed ultra demon fighter Grandma
Right.
to your services. And ideally, use her to fight Phil. because you still need those, because he's still coming after you for those dentures.
He's still gonna sue you.
Or, don't finish the incantation. Remove the dentures from Grandma's mouth, because she's distracted enough that you could do it. You have an opening. You can see it. Let Grandma rest. Return Grandma to her peace. And potentially learn the secrets of Phil and your family and all this shit that's going on from the groundskeeper.
There is literally no benefit to keeping your demon-ass grandma around.
What? You guys don't want a kick-ass demon? Like, she would be enslaved to your... That's what the demon's telling you, is that, like, you now have a super-powered minion at your services.
Yeah, fair enough. I just, like, there's no situation where, one, I'm ever cool with the idea of having a slave.
She's dead.
And
she's basically a husk.
Two, as much as I loved my grandmas, they're not exactly like someone that I would want to chill with. And then on top of that, if her corpse is being puppeted by a demon,
Fair enough.
like I imagine you're sitting there trying to play Sekiro, and she's just like standing in the corner, and you can hear like the body creaking and cricking as she like twitches, and she's just like,
I
you know
would
what I
say,
mean? Like talking backwards and shit. What do you get from this?
I would say it's less of a demon and more like she's possessed by magic. Like it's the...
Okay, I have a few questions about Grandma.
Okay.
So she's possessed by the dentures,
Well, the
the
dentures
demon
are
in the
imbuing her
dentures.
with... Yeah.
but is she still Grandma, or is she like a crazy monster?
She's far less grandma than she is just kind of like instinct.
Because like my day-to-day, I generally don't need to have like a monster slave do my bidding. Like I'm not getting myself into situations that require a lot of like battle to the death.
Well, you don't know what she's capable of. She can do all kinds of crazy
Yeah,
things.
because
yeah.
like if I was gonna have Grandma come and live with me, I'd be like, oh, hopefully she would do my laundry and like maybe like make me dinner.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, having an immortal slave is not the worst thing. And she's like Grandma is still basically dead. Like she's not having it's not like having a human slave. You basically can control a hollow husk.
Right.
And she is imbued with magic, so you don't know, like, fighting for sure, but also potentially other magics.
Yeah, we've already established
Right,
she's
right.
got those dope roundhouse trip kicks just fucking mastered.
Yeah.
But again, like day to day, it's really not that useful.
No, I know. What would I get her to do? I really don't want to do
Fight Phil.
groceries.
Yeah.
Could you go get some groceries for me? And she's like fucking crawling across the ceiling of the grocery store and like projectile vomiting with her head spinning and shit. Like,
I'm down for that.
come back, there's just vomit all over your groceries.
Come
And
on,
again,
Grandma, at least clean them up.
I always get stuck on what is the life like in between the useful and cool shit. That's usually where I make my decision. Like, what are you gonna do? Just leave her in a fucking closet where she
Yeah,
the
man.
screams of the dam occasionally burst forth, and you're just like,
Very
oh
quiet.
me,
She's
oh
well
me,
behaved.
ma.
Yeah, like I live in a 1-bedroom apartment. I don't have room for
I don't have
Grandma.
room to put her. I'd have to buy storage and like rent it out for $100 a month to keep Grandma in there.
Yeah, where am I gonna put her? You can't put a possessed dead grandma in a retirement home.
I'm gonna have her tote me around on one of those like fancy chairs.
Okay. Okay.
Look, she'd be a hit at parties, and clearly this
I
character that
don't
you goes to
agree.
a lot of parties.
I do not agree with that.
You haven't seen her dance moves, man. They are on point.
And like, so she's doing my bidding. She doesn't really have any other agency. Like,
No.
she's not gonna just randomly bite my friends or something.
No,
like
she's
that.
empty inside.
Right. Okay. And what was the other option? You get to learn
the secrets. Yeah, basically buddy up with the keeper and get the dentures back.
Right.
I'm nosy. I want to know the secrets.
Yeah, but like, I really don't want to help Phil out here.
No.
So getting those dentures back basically means that you would like fulfill your Phil destiny. You would
Yeah.
fulfill.
You would fulfill
First of all,
your Phil
his
destiny.
request.
First of all, fuck you. Second of all, to me that seems like the most obvious decision. Because we're still under the threat of being sued, which is the whole reason why we're the supposed to be the motivation for getting the things back is oh, you're gonna get taken to court.
Well, I just assumed that if you picked the demon grandma, she would just kind of take care of that.
Yeah, she's gonna take care of Phil for you.
So I get to
You can't get blamed for murder if Grandma does it. She's dead.
Yeah, yeah. And then on the plus side, she's gonna get locked up in jail for murder, and then you don't have to worry about
deal
it
with
anymore.
her.
It's like free rent.
She can fake dead really well, so she'll go to jail, fake her own death, and then you got a slave back again.
You just have to go back and dig her up again.
Yeah.
Anyway, continue.
No, I don't know. To me, I want to know secrets. I like knowing secrets.
Yep. I figured that'd be tempting.
Because I'm nosy.
And these are your secrets. Secrets about you that you didn't even know about.
Not necessarily about
your
you,
grandma.
but your grandma. You learn something crazy about your grandma. And then, and then I don't have to deal with a fucking deadite running around. And
you can tell her to just stay at the graveyard and then summon her with your mind when you need her.
For me, the whole thing is like, I'll get the dentures, give them back to Phil, and be like, dude, don't fucking contact me ever again. And then just go on with my goddamn life.
But now that you know that these dentures are enchanted,
do you want
Phil probably knew.
Phil is
There's
using,
a reason
so,
he wanted those back so bad.
So what you're saying is this Phil is using magical artifacts, possibly of an ancient and evil origin, to be good at stand-up. I would rather him have them. If he's gonna be that...
If that's the extent of his abuse of power.
Yeah. Fucking... There's some...
Phil for president!
Listen, there's some successful comedians out there right now that I watch and go, sure, fine. I'm assuming they're using some kind of fucking horseshit to, like, be successful, because they ain't fucking funny.
Yeah.
So if Phil's just gonna be the next overly successful shitty comedian, whatever, how much harm can he cause?
He's gonna run for president, though.
He might. And look, you've read his bits. Not bad. Not the best, but he's pretty decent.
His jokes were. Don't you think umbrellas are funny?
That was your joke.
Hold on. You're saying he's using this evil magic to not even be a good comedian? He's using this magic to be a fucking mediocre comedian?
No, I think what happened is that he wrote the bits out in the hopes that the magic of the dentures would somehow make them funny.
And
the content is his own. I'll say that.
So he's basically causing people to react non-proportionately to them.
Right.
I didn't say that much, but sure. I didn't really think about that.
I really hate Phil.
Yeah.
I hate him so much.
He's not like the worst, but he's just kind of a shit.
He's gonna pander to the alt-right. Don't you just know it? The kind of guy that calls you on the phone and threatens to sue you. He's gonna like have some kind of podcast where he like interviews Jordan Peterson, and then he's gonna run for president.
Yeah, and then he's gonna be like, you can't tell jokes anymore! Just because I said the N-word 10 times in a row, these fucking snowflakes don't understand comedy. I'm trying really hard not to blast actual comedians right now because my hatred is powerful and I'm just like this close to naming.
Do it! It gives me strength.
No, I'm not gonna do it. But honestly, it's just fucking fine. I want the grandma so I can murder this piece of shit.
We want him over! Death grandma! Battle grandma!
You fucking
I made you hate Phil enough that you were gonna...
Yes!
What is it? De-sanctify poor grandma's corpse.
The reason is because we know exactly which buttons to press.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you pandered to my actual dislike.
All I said was that his comedy was a bit shit.
This isn't on you. Caitlin pandered to people she knows that I hate in real life.
Yes.
People that I dislike and who are successful that I'm just like, really? Really?
Come on, give us one name.
No!
You know that they're using magic dentures.
That's
the only reason that they're famous.
Yeah.
Just like Phil would.
Just like fucking Phil would. Motherfuckers.
For half a second, you were actually down with Phil. For half a second, you're like, if that's all he's gonna do with super evil powers, then Phil's pretty alright. Fuck Phil! Like, you
No,
such a sharp corner.
You
just 360 spun around and then darted back the other way. Twice as fast.
No, I tried to take the teeth off of Phil, where I'm like, if he's going to use evil magic just to be a successful comedian, like, really, my protests aside, there are worse things you could do.
Totally.
And I can sit here and be like, I think that sucks that there's comedians that I think are bad that are successful. But also, I would fucking cheat the system to be successful if I knew how, so who am I to judge, really? I'm not better than them. And then she fucking just tapped into a vein of actual rage, and I was like, alright, fuck Phil, fuck his family, fuck everything that he stands for. I'm going to spend the rest of my life trying to destroy him because I'm petty and mean.
Yes. Battle Grandma's gonna take Phil down.
Are you picking Battle Grandma? Or do you want those sweet, sweet secrets?
Actually, I'm probably gonna go for the secrets. If I was really being honest with myself, I just can't imagine a use for Battle Grandma.
I can think of so many uses for an inanimate human. Like, she's basically a robot.
I guess,
Don't you want a robot?
Honestly, you know what the thing that's really killing the grandma thing for me is I watch
Her
a
cancer?
lot of horror movies. So when you say demon possessed, I just think
Magically endued. Let's put. I'm retracting the demon element of this.
Right.
Demon-like, but really, she's enchanted. She's enchanted.
Right. And like
She's not.
she's
this
still a
isn't-
corpse being puppeted by evil magic.
This isn't Evil Dead.
yeah.
I'm
Is
really
she gonna
picturing
like
Evil
keep
Dead.
decomposing as
No.
a corpse? She's gonna just remain.
The magic's gonna keep her young,
Right.
as magic does,
Okay.
except for in
Just
Merlin.
imagine explaining that shit.
you don't
You
have
keep
to.
her in the fucking closet and you host a party one day and somebody goes to put their coat up and they're just like, whoa!
Is she
I'm
gonna
like, yeah, I got really into wax figures last summer.
Is
What
she
do you
gonna
think?
like? Is she gonna talk or?
She will speak when spoken to.
Okay, so she's not gonna like tell me to go to mass on Sunday because God's always
No,
watching.
Grandma's not really in there.
Right. Right. Okay.
Like I said, it's just her body. Although there is something to be said about like you are abusing your grandma's body.
Yeah, see, now that I'm
the
not...
sanctity of her earthly body.
My rage has subsided and I'm still grossed out by the grandma thing. Maybe I'm back on the
Look,
secret.
she hasn't been dead that long. She's holding
I
it
could
together.
murder Phil on my own. I'm a grown man.
It is a lot easier to get away with it when someone else is doing your murdering for you,
Yeah.
especially if that person is legally dead.
I don't know, like, I probably won't give the dentures back to Phil immediately. I'm gonna keep him for a little while longer.
Would you try them?
Yeah.
Can you put dentures in if you have teeth?
I would knock my
I mean,
teeth
you
out.
can, but they won't like fit right.
Yeah, so I'm gonna use the dentures to defend myself in court.
By being like, so you take the dentures, you murder Phil, you get arrested for it, you go to court, and then you use the dentures magic to be like, I did not murder
I
Phil.
wasn't gonna murder him. I was just gonna defend myself when he sues me
For the theft of
for the theft
Oh.
of the dentures.
You're like, these are my teeth.
Yeah, I'm gonna say, like, listen, Your Honor, let me represent myself here for a minute.
Seeing how I have apparently the ability to make you believe anything that comes out of my mouth.
Yeah.
That's not how the dentures work.
How do you-
You're making a lot of assumptions about
Well,
these
they have to
dentures.
do something.
They
They're
do
magic.
something, but you don't know what it is until you talk to the
Yeah.
groundskeeper.
Well, I'm gonna take the gamble. I'm gonna talk to the groundskeeper.
What if you can't trust him? You don't know this guy. He was fighting your grandma.
Yeah, but also
Yeah,
he
but-
was doing it under duress and riddled with fear.
But he also owns the grandma graveyard. Or runs the grandma graveyard. What's up with that? Does he have a weird grandma fetish? What is he doing with all those grandmas?
Listen, he might have just had a grandma who died alone, and so he's like, I really loved my grandma, and I'm gonna make a graveyard just for grandmas
Yeah.
because women need safe spaces too. Even
Dead
if you're
women need
dead.
safe spaces.
And here's the thing. Even if it is a fetish thing, be like, listen, old ladies need loving.
Dead old ladies need.
No, I never said
No,
dead.
they don't!
She never said dead. You just said that he loves
It's
grandmas.
implied with the word graveyard.
I'm
Look,
giving
it's not other grandmas coming to
I'm
bury
giving
their other grandmas. They're dead too.
I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt that he likes to romance old ladies, and when they pass away, he gives them a wonderful burial, and then he goes on to romance another old lady.
Well, Caitlin's gonna find out.
Yeah. Well, I mean, no. we're gonna have to take it to the Discord again.
Well, if they pick the other one, I'll at least tell you.
Okay,
I'll
thank
tell
you.
you the secret.
Okay.
Oh, you
so-
already know the secret? You wrote it all out?
Yeah.
There's a little drawing in your book that I like.
It's Grandma.
It's little grandma.
I'll post it on the Discord.
Yeah, I like it.
Aw.
So we'll put another poll in the Discord if you want to vote. Would you rather have a enchanted grandma corpse slave, or would you rather learn some secrets about your family from the groundskeeper?
Also, basically, like, discover about, like, the mysteries of what's going on, where the dentures
Right.
came from, what's up with Grandma Graveyard.
Right. So this is the next branch in our Would You Rather Choose Your Own Adventure.
So, let's go save the keeper or enslave Grandma.
Right.
Just to keep the wording simple.
Right. Okay.
Cool.
So we will come back to that next week.
Mm-hmm.
The saga of Get Phucked Phil.
And who started the poll? Do it again.
A Waste of Corbin has already done it.
Yay!
Way ahead of us. So
Do it.
Applause.
We count on you, Corbin.
Thank
Applause
you,
for them.
Corbin.
Tell him what he won.
You won our respect.
Or her. I actually don't know.
Our gratitude.
Yeah. Also, shout out to Corbin for drawing the long neck laurel
Oh,
from
yeah.
last week. That
Yes,
was
it was beautiful.
truly inspired.
Oh,
I loved it.
It was so great.
It
I like that
pleased me.
I'm also. I like that they chose the horizontal route instead of just having the neck grow straight up. It's just my face just like jutted straight up
It's
from
pretty
my
good.
body.
It's pretty fucking good. Yeah.
I never considered that maybe that's the way the neck would go.
Yeah.
It would go like kind of diagonally
Yeah,
instead of right up.
Instead of straight up.
I do appreciate the fact that Caitlin like ran over to me to show me when it it was pretty good.
All right, so I guess we could take some more Would You Rathers from the chat. So if you guys have any Would You Rathers, let us know. Otherwise, I'm gonna go to Discord now and grab some Would You Rathers. So please
Okay.
Talk
amongst
amongst
yourselves.
yourselves.
I thought you had one as well.
No,
Okay, cool.
not to. I had my 2 weeks ago. I had the Viking PTSD thing, and then last week I had the one. This week, as mentioned, I am tired, so
Yeah.
I got nothing.
You're just at peace. Just let it all go. Just let it all
Okay. Oh, so this is the guy that broke you the other week. He's got another.
Uh-oh.
Oh, no,
he's
he's
got
back!
another problem. He's back with another Would You Rather.
Let me just hug this pillow really quick.
go. Be a genius. Be alone.
Yeah. So Liveware Problem asks, would you rather, ignoring the logical impossibilities of both options, as we always do, invent a direct telephone line to a higher power, thereby clearing up all religious arguments, but also now having a total tyrant on the phone? Or be the person who magically proves the non-existence of all deities and afterlives, eliminating the injustices of religious groups, but also totally destroying a giant swathe of people's sense of purpose in life? So you're either proving that God does exist or proving that God doesn't exist.
Ooh,
Ooh.
that's a fucking. First of all, nice job.
Very good job.
That is a good one.
That's fantastic. Holy fuck. Because my one thing is the idea of being able to yell at God sounds great.
It
'Cause
does, doesn't it?
I got some shit I would like to work out with him. I got some fucking questions.
Be like, why though? Why the smallpox? Actually, no, I get it.
But also, at the same time, if you can prove that God is real, as stated in the question, why wouldn't he be a tyrant? You know what I mean?
Did they say by default they are a tyrant?
Yeah, he says
Okay.
having a total tyrant on the phone.
Yeah.
Like, he's a tyrant because he literally has magical powers that can control the universe.
Yeah, but you think that would make you more chill?
No.
It's like if nothing can touch you and you can literally do whatever you want all the time, constantly, would you even give that much of a shit?
Yeah, like, let's be real here. Just because we can prove that a God exists, and assuming there's only one,
Yeah.
if we can prove that a single deity exists and we can call him, it's not like they'd care or pick up the phone. Because if you had, like, infinite cosmic power and this thing that you farted out once on a lark called you, you'd be like, who is this? A human? Get fuck out of here. And then you just, you know. So,
well, I think the premise is that you get to have contact with this
Yeah.
deity. Like, they're going to talk to you.
They're gonna answer.
Yeah.
Also, like, he's, like, omnipotent, so he can talk on the phone with you as well as doing whatever the fuck else he's doing.
What I'm trying to say is that the deity, I feel, would have no interest, because under the assumption that a deity exists with the way the world is now, he clearly could give a shit less what we're up to. So why would he care that we can now contact
Unless
him?
it's all by design, because it's exactly the fire we need in order to ascend into greater beings.
But then that's the other problem, is for me, my gut reaction would be to chastise and yell at this deity, which would probably be bad for my health.
It's like, why bother? I can't help but think about what would be more upsetting, because I mean, I'm in a default state where most of the people I interact with are non-secular.
Right.
So if they were like, proof God isn't real, my day-to-day doesn't change all that much. Like, for the most part, the people around me are behaving the same way they have. Whereas, like, how much of a, because one, proving that God exists not only, like, would blow away atheists, but would also blow away anyone who was of the religion that it turned out it wasn't.
Right, yeah.
So it's like the whole world is just, except for one small group of people are going to be like, fuck!
You're so wrong.
My gut reaction as somebody who's not religious or spiritual would be to like, well, prove that God's not exist, get the Band-Aid off. However, the dark reality of it would be there's going to be a death toll just from the knowledge that a deity doesn't exist. Because you're going to have people basically go, well, fuck this, I'm out, because I've dedicated my life to nothing.
And now nothing matters.
And now nothing matters. Everything that I've believed in is gone.
I don't know, because, like...
Nah.
No, but like, the reason that people believe in religion is because they believe in something that can't be proven. So just because one God is proved to exist doesn't mean that, like, their belief in a non-existent...
Right, doesn't prove that...
It doesn't prove that what they believe in also doesn't exist.
Well,
I thought you said it did.
I'm talking about if we can prove without any doubt that there is no God. This is like the atheist version.
Yeah, he's talking about the other one.
Oh, okay.
Then
So all of a sudden, the world of people that did believe in religion and have dedicated, like, have literally built their entire lives around this concept.
Right.
And you take that away, probably, things are gonna get a little violent.
Yeah, for sure.
Because there are some people, I've literally heard religious people say things like, well, religion is important because atheists don't have any morals. And it's like, well... There's a lot of people that don't believe in God that ain't running around murdering.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of really good reasons to not kill people except for a parental figure in the sky wagging a finger at you, right? I would say the most crushing thing about about proving that there is no God is, like, there's something really comforting about the idea of there being an afterlife.
Yeah. It also, like, because it's this weird kind of, like, if nothing matters... and you go nowhere after death, then it does kind of, like, there's a little bit of that, like, then nothing. Especially if you're coming from a place where you did believe that there was, like, righteous judgment at the end.
Yeah.
All of a sudden you're just like, well, why do it? I mean, there are reasons. They're, like, you're gonna have a better life if you don't go around killing people.
Yeah, it turns out when we work together on things, shit's better for everyone. Who knew? But
I think... for that to happen so suddenly, like for you to be relying on religion and then to have a switch just go off being like nothing matters, I think you'd be like
it's gonna mess up a lot of people.
Murder, pillage.
And that's kind of the interesting thing too, right? Because there are going to be people that'll take the well then nothing matters, and it's like, well, lots of things matter if you let them. You know what I mean? You don't need a fucking sky dad to.
But matter to what extent? Like, it matters until you die and then nothing matters.
Yeah, no,
yeah,
I know.
Isn't that kind of comforting, though? Because it means that, like, all the times you fucked up and all the times you made mistakes, it doesn't matter. Because you're going to die one day.
You're going to die. Everyone you know
Everyone you know is going to die.
The world's going to explode.
No. I mean, here's the thing, right? As somebody riddled with Catholic guilt, I feel like life would be better if it wasn't there. So, yeah, I don't know. It's weird. I think both are going to be bad and be really... really bloody transition periods, because I do feel like, there would be people that would take their own lives if their deity was proved to not be true. I feel like people would go, well, there's no reason for me to not be a crazy psychopath. But also, there's something to be said about just getting the fucking Band-Aid off and living in reality. You know what I mean? And here's the other problem. Like, we're not talking about the problematic aspects of religion and how that might get gassed up if you prove so let's say you prove the Old Testament Christian God to be true.
The vengeful God.
That's not good for anyone.
How?
And
like
then
that's what I mean. You'd have this moment of like, I've been doing it all wrong.
Yeah, and then here's the other problem,
and so
right?
it's 99% of the planet.
But that's the thing too. Like, I'm just thinking.
See y'all in hell.
I'm just thinking about my thought process, right? So let's say you prove a God right. It is you go with the one where it's like a deity exists, and this deity goes like, I think this deity goes, homosexuality is a sin, and then you have all these people going like, well, see, we gotta round them up, and be like, well, fuck God then. Like, I don't care if
why
it's
did you make people gay if you thought it was a sin? Like you could just stop that.
Exactly.
It's like the devil did it.
Oh, such a lame excuse. If you're God, you can just undo anything that the devil does. Like,
I was gonna say, I think the God is also the devil.
Because
what a jack.
But
God.
And again, this is based off of a real conversation with a religious person that I had once, back when I was arguing with them about like gay rights and stuff. They basically said, well, what if God's real and it is true that homosexuality is a sin? And I basically
how sad would that be?
If
it's like the grand creator, the person who made this planet and everyone in it, actually does hate gay people.
Yeah.
How do you cope with that information?
To me, it's simple. Fuck God then.
Yeah.
God's wrong.
Yeah, okay, so God is wrong, and then what? Then what do you do?
But how do we kill God? Let's figure that out.
But that's a horrible realization to have, to be like, I am against God. Fuck.
Yeah, I think, like, me personally, if I had to choose between finding out that God did exist or finding out definitively that God doesn't exist, I would definitely 100% rather that a God didn't exist.
Yeah.
Because the idea of an actual, like, omnipotent creator who created everything in the world and then put down all these rules so that people would specifically break them, and then like make people specifically to break the rules that he had made.
Like the potential of a version of hell, because I know a lot of religions have some. The fact that an eternal suffering is now totally possible.
Yeah, I'm just like, what kind of fucked up maniac would do that?
I mean, if I was a god, I probably would.
Yeah, I mean, there is something inherently dreadful knowing that there's a being out there with unending cosmic power. I'm not comfortable with that.
Who has a very, very specific set of rules that you need to follow in order to not spend eternity in torture.
And on top of that, there is a chance that this deity will set these rules and then allow nature to break them naturally. So it's like, cool, now you're born into a situation where you can't follow the rules even if you want to. I'm going with I'm going to prove both in a really serious, like, dark way, both are going to be really bad to a certain extent. Yeah. Because there's something to be said about a comforting lie, even though I don't agree with that kind of concept in general. There's something to be said about it.
Well, it wouldn't be a lie if you chose the other one. It would be real.
But that's what I mean about, as somebody who doesn't believe in deities, I think there's something, I'm totally cool with people having religious beliefs. Yeah. I think religion has improved the quality of a lot of people's lives. That being said, if I have to choose between one or the other being absolutely positively true, I think there's significant negatives to both, but I'm going with the no gods.
I mean, there are some bad ones. In my opinion, there are some gods out there that I'm like, I don't want you to be real. I really don't want you to be real.
Like, I feel like we're approaching this from like a Catholicism, Christianity way, but there's some real gnarly deities. I don't want Odin to be real. I don't want Zeus to be real.
No, Zeus is like
Zeus is the worst.
Is like the end all be all of rapists.
Yeah, he's a real piece of shit, it turns out.
Yeah. And here's the thing, if you get raped by Zeus, his wife gets jealous and tries to kill you, even though you totally did. That's what happened to Medusa. Yeah. I don't know if it was Zeus or if it was Neptune, but basically a god like forces her to have sex with him, and then the wife gets so jealous that she curses her to have a
Yeah.
head full of snakes. And she's like,
Meanwhile-
I didn't want any of
Yeah.
this.
Meanwhile, she's just a fucking pot maker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So in that case, you're literally a toy to this thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really don't want that to be the world we
Yeah,
live
yeah.
in.
The idea, the very idea of a god proving that a god exists is awful and terrifying on so many levels.
Yeah.
Whereas,
Although
like,
if it turns out it's Buddha, that can be fun.
I guess, but
What if you pick you prove that a deity is real, and then it turns out the flying spaghetti monster is the real one? That might be cool.
as long
Free
as it's
pasta
chill,
and
though.
carbs for everyone.
Heaven would just be carbs.
Heaven would be a garlic bread bowl. Fuck yeah, dude.
Oh my god, is it worth the risk?
Is it? No.
Is it
Absolutely
worth? Is
not.
it worth the
No.
roll of the dice? How many
garlic bread exists without a god.
Yeah, you can just eat that now.
Yeah, but it's not the same as an eternity of.
No gods, no kings, just men. We can do it. Together.
You're right. I could have garlic bread today.
Yeah, there are way more gnarly gods than there are cool gods.
Yeah.
It's true.
So yeah,
Because
you're gonna roll
that's-
that dice. It's definitely gonna come up at one of the bad
Which
ones.
really you literally just inherently touched on why I don't have faith in anything is because there are more gods are literally, I've always felt, a way to scare you into behaving a certain way. It's a bigger adult version of, if you don't act right, I'm gonna fucking spank you.
Yeah.
So
Parents needed parents, so they made them.
this was before we realized positive reinforcement works, right? So it's a lot of do this or you're gonna die and burn forever in different flavors of that.
Well, that was just their life for a long time. Was like, do this or a
But-
bear's gonna eat you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's really the fucked up thing, too, that I hate, is when you look at, like, old religion and the way the world where it used to be, it kind of goes, well, it kind of fucking worked, though, didn't it? Which is the unfortunate reality of it.
But we've outgrown it.
But
we've
we've
outgrown our
outgrown it.
parents.
Yeah.
We're moving out.
Yeah, let's move out of our god's apartment.
Yeah. It's time to get our own
I'm
apartment.
gonna go get my own one-bedroom where I can have all the premarital sex I
Look,
want.
it's gonna be shittier for a little while, but
Yeah.
over time we'll build it up.
Yeah. I saw this cool meme and it was like, and it said, you better go out and sin, kids, so Jesus didn't die in vain.
It's true.
Word.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
So.
Yeah, I'm ready to end it all and return to the nothing from which I came.
Yeah, me too.
Definitively.
I feel like both are gonna be rough, but the
Yeah,
No
for
Gods
sure.
has more potential to end better.
Yeah.
I
yeah.
think world scale is going to be super rough, but if there's anywhere on the planet that's going to be kind of okay, Canada's probably up there.
Yeah. Here's the other thing that I'm wondering, and I realize the question involves you magically proving without a shadow of a doubt, so there's no discussion, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But knowing I've watched human beings look at facts and still go, no.
Oh yeah, there's going to be some deniers.
So do you think there's still going to be people that fight it? There must be.
I think there are people who exist now who in like deep in their psyche know that God, or to them know God isn't real. I don't know everything, but don't believe God is real. But the practice of believing in God benefits them enough that they keep doing it.
Yeah.
Right. Or there are people in like power structures like the Catholic Church who probably don't believe in God but are benefiting from those power structures, so they just keep perpetuating it.
Yeah. So
But I
I don't
think
know.
those people are screwed though, because the vast majority of people are going to be like,
Yeah, I mean, but the one benefit of that is I'm sure there would be people that would not let up regardless if you proved it without a shadow of a doubt or not, but I feel like they would be quickly outnumbered and then nobody would suffer them if they're
Yeah.
just like,
Also,
no,
it's like-
God is real. And be like,
Yeah.
dude, shut the fuck, like, water is wet, we figured it out. Like, what do
yeah,
you
sorry, we.
It's also like you kind of like magically proving it. So like there's no like it's not like you found a document that said like God
I
is
know,
real.
I know.
Sign God.
It's just-
the universe.
There's not a lot of shit that I believe in, but I believe in the stubbornness and tenacity of the human
Oh
ignorance.
yeah, there's gonna be some groups who
So-
still get together and are like, but still. And to be honest, I'm not even against that. I think for some people to maintain their sanity are just going to need to be in
Yeah,
denial
yeah,
for a
yeah.
little bit, and I am okay with
Yeah.
that. I'm like, you do what you gotta do to not murder everybody
Also,
around you.
like like, global religion is basically just, like, a scaled-up version of, like, humans' nature towards, like, tribalism. So it's like, people are still gonna find shit to, like, fight over. It's not gonna, like, end all wars. Or,
Oh,
like,
no, I never said it would end
Yeah.
wars.
No, if anything, it's gonna probably start more wars.
As-
Yeah.
As we figured out last time this wonderful person asked a question, I don't think no wars is the thing that I can even comprehend. So no, the religion thing will have no bearing on the
Yeah, like,
murdering.
I bet, like, even if it was definitively proved that no gods ever exist or will exist, those, like, religious institutions will probably continue along anyway, just on the
Well,
basis
I
of,
think they're gonna take a hit.
like, just, like,
Yeah.
they've been around for so long that they're just never gonna go away.
I mean-
Yeah, some people just won't be able to break the habit.
Yeah.
They're like, this has been my
I
whole
mean,
life.
can I be real for, like, really real for a second?
No,
Okay.
Not allowed.
you're gonna do it anyway.
I'm gonna do it anyway. If the Vatican can survive constant child raping scandals, I don't think they need God to be real for that corporation to continue to exist.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but there is something to be said about, like, quote unquote definitive proof. Because a lot of people, if there's enough doubt, you can kind of, like, justify anything. Whereas, like, when it's laid out black and white, I do think there's going to be a ton of those people, but I think, like, it's going to be halved at least.
I mean, I would hope more than halved.
I said at least.
Yeah. So, I don't know. Yeah, I'm going with the no gods. I'm really scared about the idea of a fucking omnipotent asshole existing.
Yeah.
I think it might also just, like, fucking quintuple the suicide rate.
Yeah.
Probably.
I mean, either way, people are going to opt out.
Yeah. Oh, no, you can't.
Oh,
like,
shit, right. Depending on the
if
deity,
God
it
is
might not
real, all of a sudden depending on, like, which God it
Which
is and
God
how
it
you've
is.
lived your life, you might be trying to, like, desperately put off death until you can, like, fix your situation.
At least if it's a Catholic God, you can just be like, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry,
that
here's
I
some money.
sinned." Yeah, and then they'll be like, forgiven.
It
That is-
depends. There's
that
so
is
many
true.
different.
Super sorry that I raped all these children.
really,
and God's like, it's cool,
sorry.
bro.
We'll
you
just
can't-
put you into a new parish. It's fine.
But you have to make sure that you confess, like, right before your death, and you can't kill yourself.
No.
So
'cause
you gotta make sure that you are aware enough that you're about to die that you can do your final confession before it happens.
Yeah.
It's a very testy game of, like,
Playing chicken with the afterlife.
like if you ask God for forgiveness and he's like, yes, I forgive you, and then you do one bad thing before getting hit by a car, you're fucked. You're fucked.
You told a little white lie and then get smoked by a bus.
Yeah.
You
Like, you played
ate a seafood or something. What is one of the like really stupid
Even
laws?
just being like, you can't even like hole up in your house and wait for death because being idle is a sin.
But don't you you better not work on Sunday.
Yeah.
But yeah, don't you dare.
But then what counts as work? I gotta do these dishes.
Nope, not on Sunday.
No.
So what am I supposed to do? Just sit
Nothing.
around?
You do. You pray.
Oh man.
All right. Well, I think that's about it for Streamy Dreams.
Now that we're
Holy
done.
shit, we did 2? Would you
yeah,
rather?
we did too. We kind of really milked them, didn't we?
The last one was super good, and I'm sure we've alienated a ton of people now.
Probably, but whatever. So thank
I
you,
doubt it.
Liveware Problem, for your very thought-provoking Would You Rather
Yeah,
questions.
stop being good at this. What the
Yeah.
fuck, dude?
God, you're making us feel feelings again. I don't like it.
At least he didn't break anyone this time.
I don't
We're
know.
still
I feel pretty
whole.
broken.
Yeah, so if you want to go into the Discord and vote in the poll for next week's Get Phucked Phil saga, please do that. There's a link in the description to the Discord if you're not already in it. And yeah, we'll be back next week with some hot out of the oven Would You Rathers.
And the season finale of Get Phucked Phil. It was only a 3-parter.
It was only a 3-parter?
Yeah.
Well, because this was supposed to be like the beta test for
Yeah.
Right.
what would be
Listen.
a longer saga.
I see.
Caitlin, have you not been keeping track of storytelling? Everything's a trilogy these days.
Until it becomes a trilogy of trilogies.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be like a multi-movie franchise.
Yeah, so we're gonna have the shared Shitty Wizard universe.
Yeah.
Where the Dwaynes are gonna Get Phucked Phil, and,
Oh
The Chew
my
Girl's
God!
going to be there, Long Neck Laurel.
and the fucking makeover head is gonna roll in on his robot body and start
Right next
strangling
to
people.
Walt Disney.
Walt Disney's
It's
head, yeah. right, well, thanks for joining us, guys. See you next week.
Bye-bye. I'm so hungry.
Shitty wizard!